God damn. You guys want to see me jump? Let me go down here first just to make sure there's nothing else I'm missing out on, okay? No. It's just a bunch of stairs. Okay. Let's do it. Okay. I'm just looking to see like what the best place to jump off would be. It's like right here, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is it. Alright, you guys ready? I made it, man. I fucking made it. What's this, dude? Bro, I got springs in my legs. Okay. Oh, I've never seen this place. Look at that. That's cool. Imagine you could fish up like a shark out here. Ass Lake. See how deep it is? Sure. That's really deep. I'll make it back up. It'll be fine. I wouldn't have jumped off if I thought I wouldn't. Okay. There's just a dead tree here that you can harvest. There we go. Just cleaning the place up, okay? What's this? It's just a rock. You want to join a squad or be an annoying guy getting shot even though I'm 34? Oh no, man. Like, I don't like to deal with people that are annoying, man. Anybody who I feel like is an attention seeker or whatever, man, I just fucking block them. I'm a pretty relaxed guy. I don't see anybody causing me trouble. Anybody stressing me out. Yeeted and deleted. I got enough problems in my life to have to deal with another person that causes me issues. That's just the truth. Can I get over this way maybe? This seems to be okay. Maybe I just have to stay by the edges. I'm disappointed there's like no caves behind waterfalls, you know? Like that would be really cool. Do you order drama, Andy? No, I'm not. I talk about drama a lot. It doesn't mean I'm a drama Andy. Okay, let me see here. Let me go back to my town. How are you not upset? What's this here? Curtain say of politics. It constantly try to. You have to constantly try to. That you have to constantly try and write on Twitter. Wait, what? I don't have to write anything on Twitter. What do you mean? Yeah. I mean, I just don't worry about that shit, you know what I mean? Politics on Twitter, everything like that, it's just kind of irrelevant to me. Yeah, it's not that big of a deal. Somebody's causing a problem, whatever. You know, like, people get mad at me on Twitter for stuff all the time. And I just don't read the message. And it's gone. I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It can be stressful to have people mauled out on you. Oh, at Twitter. Absolutely it can. But that's about it. Does that make sense? I think most people get affected by drama and Twitter stuff if they let it happen. Like, you do have people, though. I mean, it's not like I'm some enlightened person that's like fucking above everybody else, right? Like, I get affected by drama. It fucking annoys me if it has to do with me. But like, the best way to deal with it is to just ignore it. And it's like one of those things where like usually what I do is I'll make a statement about something. And then that's about it, you know? I think like a lot of people try to like go out of their way to like over clarify, and they try to like fight off every single misconception people have. And I think that's a mistake, personally. I really do. The reason I think it's a mistake is because you have a lot of people that are trying to not understand what you're doing. They're trying to not understand what you're saying. And whenever they don't understand what you're saying, they control you by making you talk to them more. You know? Oh, I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand. Yeah, gaslighting? I mean... Sorry, I mean beef jerky. It's a form of that, sure. Is there anything good here? Looks like a whole lot of fucking... Oh, there's one. Okay. Alright, let's see here. There are a lot of dick boys here. There's a whole lot of dick boys. What up, dick boys? What y'all want? Fuck out of here. Piece of shit. I enjoy talking to them because they always show hypocrisy and counter their own points eventually. No, the thing is, like, a person like that, like, is funny because like, only if it makes you feel good. Because the thing is, like, you're never gonna have it where like some guy's like, oh man, you know, you made me look stupid, I'm not gonna think what I think anymore. Nah, that's never gonna happen. It's like whenever you try to take a toy away from a dog when it's got it in his mouth, man. You try to yank that shit out, man, they're gonna bite down as hard as they can. Oh fucking, they're gonna hold on to that like their life depends on it. Tug of war? Yeah, yeah, exactly. And that's what it is for people. Some people think if you voice your opinion on stream, you have to debate 20k viewers or you're a hypocrite. Yeah, of course. I mean, you're always going to have people that are like that. Ooh. Let's avoid him. And it's pretty easy to deal with that, though. You just ban them and say you don't want to talk to them.
Yo.
All right. Invite you poison a sultana.
Go outside the border.
I can barely hear you, bro. Let's see here. Yeah, so to me it's like and people don't worry too much about like that kind of stuff. They get themselves like very emotionally invested into you know, like drama or people's opinions of them, like especially like the whole LSF thing. Like that's been very common. If you want to talk about like other opinions like that, like that's very, very, very common. Because people, I mean, it can definitely suck whenever you're, you feel like you're so sure of something and, you know, you understand things and then people just don't really understand it and they don't want to. Because they don't want to understand it, because if they do, then they don't have a reason to get mad. There's people that are looking for a reason to get mad. No, I don't think cancel culture causes people to get worried about it. I don't think like cancel culture is... It's like one of those, like cancel culture is like SJW now. Where anytime that somebody is on explore, no, I don't want to do it, Panthu, because if I do, I bet Amazon will get pissed off at me and they might not give me like more free stuff. Like I'm really hoping they're gonna send me a New World shirt, and like I can guarantee you if I go out of bounds on stream, like that New World shirt is just not gonna happen, man. So we're gonna have to control ourselves. So like what I mean is like a lot of people are, they'll say like some guy gets like accused of, you know, or like people get found out of like being like, or I don't know, I think like somebody like really bad, it's like a rapist, right? And so if you find out about that about somebody, like that's not really cancel culture. And you know, it's like they find out some guy in like the Smash community was like trying to hook up with like 13-year-olds and stuff. Like that's not cancel culture, man. That's like just, yeah, I mean, you're just breaking the law. You know what I mean? Like that's it. You're just breaking the law. Like that's totally different. And so I think a lot of people conflate the two things, which is I don't think a good thing. They'll conflate the idea of like, you know, like consequences for bad action with cancel culture, which is I don't really think that's necessarily true. I do think that in general, Twitter getting together and people and users on websites getting together to impose some sort of, you know, their idea of what's fair to somebody else, right? They're like, okay, well, you know, we think it's fair because this person did this thing or said this thing that we harass them or we cause them to like lose their job or something like that, right? I mean, of course that's obviously bad, but just in general, ooh, it's a named mob. Some dick boys trying to fuck on me, huh? Let's go, boys, let's go. What's wrong? What's wrong? Y'all really gonna push me off? You were knocking a 300 my ass. Get the fuck up. Oh my god. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Wow. Well, they should rename this place to Sparta, yeah? You think so? Oh my god, dude, I just got kicked out. That's so funny. You know what's got fired today? Because she flashed the OK symbol on TikTok. They said it was white power, despite 0 contacts on a clip. No, I never believed that shit. I never believe that stuff whenever I see it. Because it's like, is that why? Or is it something else you don't know about? You know what I mean? Got him, dude. What is this? It's nothing. Okay, I'm just gonna vendor this. What I'm saying is like I'll give you an example, right? Is that a story that a nurse got fired or let go from her job because, like, I've been seeing a lot of things recently about like nurses that were hired during COVID, like now getting let go now that they're not needed for COVID and people being upset about that. So like there's a lot of times where two things happen at the same time, and then people intentionally draw a correlation between those two things in order to create a narrative. But like the truth is that the two things were not related and they didn't have anything to do with each other. So like whenever I hear something like that, generally I have like kind of like a window, right? Like imagine it's like a, like I don't know, it's like a spectrum of things that normally happen. And if something outside of that spectrum happens, I assume that it's not true. You see what I'm saying? Correlation, not causation. Well, it's something more than that. What I'm saying is like a little bit more than that. So you're on the spectrum? Yeah, okay, I get the joke that I'm autistic because I said the word spectrum. Okay, can we move on? So what I was trying to say was the whole idea of like people just like believing something because like they want to they want to believe it, right? It's like that's the thing. It's like they want to believe the idea that like you know, cancel culture is getting a nurse fired for just making some innocuous symbol with her hand, right? So like you hear that and you get mad. And I think the reality is that the fact that everybody can probably hear that and get mad means that it works. And that's why companies and different news organizations publish that kind of stuff. It's because those things there affect people emotionally and they get them to react Like, for example, you're talking about it right now. Like, you right now are talking about it, and like, I don't know how I just randomly threw it. That was nice. It was fucking awesome. Like, now you're talking about it, and now other people can look it up and think about it too. So like, basically, there's like a lot of different types of advertising, right? There's like you know, billboard advertising, TV, you know, radio spots, TV spots, like, you know, paying a streamer to stream a game, or talk about something, you know, like just buying ad space as a pre-roll, etc. But the most powerful form of marketing, and this is just like in general throughout pretty much like all things, is that the most powerful form of marketing is word of mouth. So whenever somebody tells you something and they are advertising it to you directly, that's what people take the most seriously. And the reason for that is very simple, and it's very obvious too whenever you think about it. The reason for that is because that's something that's not paid. So like, if like, for example, I don't know, like Brad Pitt goes on and he tells you about how great a certain type of like hair, like a hair product is, like L'Oreal hair product or something like that. Well, you know, that's probably like, this is a sponsorship, right? And like, they're paying him money to say that. So somebody just says that, and they think that, and they're like, okay, well, this isn't real. You know what I mean? They don't really think it's real, and so they don't believe it. And that, because of that, it doesn't really resonate with very many people as much as it could. So what ends up happening is, no, I believe no celebrity. Sure, and I think that you should do that. You know, anytime that somebody's paid to tell you something, you should take it less seriously. It doesn't necessarily mean that it's not true. Like, for example, I was having a conversation with Tips, right? And like, we have like OTK meetings on Sunday nights, and I was talking to them about like, you know, brands that I would want to get sponsored by, and I gave them like my list, and it's like, I would gladly promote those brands because I feel like they're good brands. And so it's not like if somebody is promoting a brand, it means that they're lying necessarily, but it does mean that it's suspect, and you should absolutely take that seriously. My pillow. Oh god. Well, you see what I'm saying though, right? So should buy Cumcoin because my TikToker told me it's gonna go to the moon. Yeah, I don't think you should buy that. Depends on the context. In court, someone testifies for free. They have their own goals. They're promoting also. I don't know about like in a court case or something like that. I have no idea. But like, all I'm saying is like online, if somebody is like paid to do like a sponsored thing or whatever, it depends on like how it's done, of course, to an extent. But in a general sense, I do think that it's always suspect to a certain degree, and it should be. I think that more people should be. They should think about things, you know, rather than just kind of believe them randomly. And so anyway, the point that I'm making is that the word of mouth advertising is extremely strong because it doesn't have that connotation. It doesn't have that context behind it that it's you know, paid. You're assuming that somebody's doing it legitimately and of their own volition. And because of that, you have people take it more seriously and listen to it more. And that's why that type of advertisement is so good, is because people kind of let their guard down, I guess. And what ends up happening, right, is you have like people that are sharing these articles that make them angry, and then the overall outcome of this is that people see those articles and they're looking at the articles, and those articles have ads on them, and the people that are making the articles are making money, right? That's like that's the end goal, right? That's what ultimately happens. So, that's kind of, what's this? It's a piece of shit, that's what it is. So that's what I'm trying to get at, right? They don't teach logic in schools. The reason why they don't teach logic in school is because if they did, then the people that are in charge of the education board would be removed, because the public would be educated enough to realize that they're useless. Of course they're not going to teach people to be smart, because it's not good for the people that are in power to have an educated population. You want to have a population that's like smart, like to a degree, but to a degree. It doesn't just mean like entirely. Yeah, they want people to be able to think, just not be able to think for themselves. I think that's a good way to say it. Let's see. What honestly could make you go back to WoW? I don't know, if my guild needed me to do something, I'd probably just log on and play with them. You know, it's nothing crazy. I've just been taking a break from the game because I just have been kind of bored, and I've wanted to do other stuff. But that's really about it. Like, I don't hate WoW or anything like that. I've just been doing other stuff. Sylvanas dead? No, I don't really, like, I care about the lore. It does matter to me. But it's not like this is not... This does not really matter. It's not a big deal. It's like, for example, are your mount aspirations dead though? No, I just, like, I have like almost every mount in the game, man. Like, if I wanted to go back and collect mounts like really seriously, I could do it very fast. A lot of the Korthia mounts are pretty easy to farm. The only thing that I don't like doing is like farming out these like 1% mounts on like 5 different characters, because I just don't like leveling characters up. That's really what it comes down to for me. Yeah, that's what I dislike the most, I think. Get you into every day with WoW. Well, I think that there's a lot of people who, I feel like they want that validation in a way that, like, oh, Asmon isn't playing WoW, and so, like, you know, my decision to not play WoW is, like, more valid or something. But I would tell you guys, like, if that's the way you feel, like, just stop waiting for balding men on the internet, balding middle-aged men on the internet to validate your game decisions. Just play what you want to play, and that's about it. Can you dual wield axes? No, for some reason you can't dual wield hatchets. Isn't really mid-age. I'm just joking around, right? It's a quote kind of like from Total Biscuit, and he said the same thing. I'm just kind of paraphrasing what he said. A lot of people care more about a game if they know a lot of people are playing it. It's just human psychology. No, I feel the same way, and I'll say this for sure. Like, I want to play a game that a lot of other people are playing. Like, I don't want to play a game and be like, you know, one of the only people that plays the game. I like feeling like I'm part of that bigger community, and like I'm part of like what's happening, you know? I think it's like really cool. And it feels good. Yeah, like, I mean, like, WoW used to be, Final Fantasy is now, you know, New World, I mean, to an extent, Fortnite used to be, you know, that kind of stuff. They're pretty important for a streamer too. Yeah, but I mean, like, as a streamer, absolutely. But I just mean on like a personal level, more so than anything. Do you think New World has any long-time lasting power? That's the thing that I'm kind of worried about. So, like, if you want to talk about like New World, right? What do I think about New World? I think New World is probably like a 1 or 2 month MMO at the state that it's in right now. Because like I can't really imagine like what people are going to be doing in the game after 2 months into the game, because you're going to have gathered, like, let's just go ahead and let's just think about it, right? So how long is it going to take for you to get like your lumber working up or something like that? So like if you want to get your lumber working up, you want to go over to Eden Grove and just go mine the blue trees there, right? That's what you do, is you go up. You either go here or you go down to right here, this lush hideaway place. And you can go to either place and farm out blue trees. And if you want to do that, you can probably get your lumber working up to like 180 or something like that in almost no time whatsoever. Like, I would say it would probably take you like 3 or 4 days of like consistent play to do that. So, like, I don't really think that's a long time for like a gathering profession. And the reason why I don't think it's a long time is because like people are going to be able to farm. And like that's also like, that's not playing all day every day. Like I can go over there and I'll show you guys in a minute. And we can just like kind of do some math and look at it, because I think it'd actually be interesting to do. To just see kind of like how long something like that would take. It's not most people do? No, you're right. It's definitely not what most people do, but like we're not really talking about most people. We're talking about people that want to play MMOs and like take them really seriously, right? And like those people are the kinds of people that want to play the game a lot and get like really serious about it and, you know, that kind of stuff. What the fuck is gathering is no content? I think that gathering is no content. Do you ever think you get that? I don't think gathering is not content. It's just a different kind of content that you might not like. I don't think gathering is fundamentally bad content or something like that. I disagree with this. I think gathering is good content. If done right. It's like if you say like gathering is bad content, then like explain a game like Animal Crossing, for example. I feel like it's different strokes for different folks, right? And people like doing some things, people don't like doing other things based off of, you know, just what some people like some things, other people like other things. It's not really that complicated. Had a blast gathering stuff? Yeah, I think it's great. I really do. Shit. Some MMOs are just gathering and crafting. It's their content. Yeah, I know. Gathering's boring as fuck. No debate. I mean, there's a debate, right? There's some people that like it, but like, I would say like in general, like you should not rely on that to be your content. I would agree with you there. Absolutely. They should have an MMO that allows players to open up shops and become traders. Oh, like they have that in Rust, kind of, where you can make a little, what are they called? Vending machines? Looking at this from a grind perspective, makes sense, but I don't know. I feel like New World offers some interesting things to keep people preoccupied. Voice over IP. Oh, you mean like the voice stuff? Yeah, I think the voice stuff is fucking great. I love that. I think that's a great feature. I completely agree with you. I really like the voiceover stuff too. And like being able to talk to people and everything. Like I think that New World in a lot of ways like that should oh, for sure, Panther. Yeah. I'll see you then, dude. For sure. Like I kind of agree, right? Is it actually wait 1 second. It's just a box. Might as well loot the box. Loot the box. Kill everything here real quick. There we go. Just line of sight that cast. Does New World innovate as an MMORPG? I think that New World is innovative in its crafting. I think that it's innovative in that's the main thing, right? That's the number one. Like I think, like I don't really have a list, but like there's other things that are good too. Voice chat's gonna destroy the game for every streamer. No, they just like streamers have to play with it turned off. Like it's unfortunate because it's like such good content, but realistically, like streamers can't really play with voice IP because you're just gonna have somebody running around and like yelling. And it's like you could ban that person or whatever, but it's just it's too much work. And I think I think that the game like has a like I think in general there's going to be a lot of that that's happening organically, and it doesn't really have anything to do with streamers, right? Like, yeah, I think absolutely, like, if somebody is, like, running after a streamer and, like, screaming in their mic constantly, like, for like, 2 hours, let's say, because that streamer has voice over IP on, and, like, they have to hear it the whole time, then, yeah, that person should get banned, because that's basically harassment, you know? But other than that, I wouldn't really worry too much about it. That's really, really, really good. Two hours should be like 10 minutes. In my opinion, I think it should be 2 minutes. It's very obvious whenever somebody is doing something to be annoying versus doing something just because they're doing it on their own. A lot of these mobs here. Fuck. When was the last time you played WoW? Like yesterday? It was yesterday, the day before. Okay. Oh. I better get something good here. The fuck out of here. Alright. Let's loot this. And let's loot the big box. Screaming N-words into the mic. I mean, the thing is, like, people are always gonna do that. I mean, you just... The thing is, you, like, yeah, they should get banned. I mean, like, are you asking, like, should somebody screaming the N-word into the mic constantly to, like, get streamers banned? Like, do I think they should get banned? Like, yeah, of course. But this is not, you know, this is not a dangerous idea. I feel like most people would believe this. They'll make it auto-recognize for words instant ban. I don't think so. I mean, because like if they do that, it's always going to be a cat and mouse game where like they're going to find out like other words to say and, you know, things like that. What is this? Oh yeah, I remember this. This was a quest. This guy's getting his ass beat, holy shit. Get fucking deleted. Okay, let's see what this is. Or innocent people get banned. Yeah, it's like all those kinds of things. Like they do detect like false positives. I would assume so, because like you can never like Siri, for example, you know, doesn't always get it whenever you say the right thing. And so like if they can't figure it out, like New World can't figure it out either. And I think they know that. Did you cast any of the Fat 14 references in Final Fantasy references? I don't know what that means. Amazon bans people pretty fast. Yeah, I mean, I do think it's important to do that, especially like the reality is like you're gonna have like the way I always look at like banning people for like harassing and stuff is that if a person is trying to harass somebody else, just ban them. Just ban them. Because this is a person who's going out of their way to harass somebody else who's trying to play your game and enjoy your game. Alright, it doesn't matter, like, I don't believe that there needs to be, like, a punishment volcano. Like, these are mostly adults. These are people who are in full control of their actions, and there's no reason to fuck around with it. And they'll just make the community worse in general. New World needs to add desert or winter regions. Oh, they have both of them. Desert region is right here. Yeah, it's a desert region, and this is a winter region right here. Harassment personal related to in-game, then you should get banned for telling someone they suck. No, you shouldn't get banned for telling somebody they suck in a video game. Like, that's, like, obviously not. Like, if you go out of your way to, like, constantly spam somebody about how much they suck and, you know, harass them and, like, message them, like, regularly, then yeah, I think absolutely. But, like, I don't know. I think that, like, any normal, well-adjusted human being can clearly tell whenever things are over the line and whenever they're not. And I think there's a lot of people on the internet who act like this is some amorphous, like, hard or impossible to understand thing, and the truth is, like, it's not. I really don't think it is. I think it's quite simple. Damn, I'm not getting anything good. Fuck. Gonna kill these. Smack talk and harassment. Yeah, exactly. And even, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with saying, like, oh, you're fucking garbage at the game, right? And then kicking somebody out. Like, that's fine, right? I think that the most important thing for me, for harassment, in terms of, like, the game developers actioning it, is the frequency of it. So, like, for example, if you're just saying something one time, it's not that big of a deal to me. Like, almost like no matter what you say. But whenever you go out of your way to continuously say something like that or continuously be that way, that's whenever I feel like things go over the line. Systematic versus spontaneous. Yeah, spontaneous harassment is generally not as bad in my mind. It's a good way to look at it. I like that. No, same person doing it one time to multiple people. I don't know. I mean, like, it depends on the person and what they're saying. No one wants to be insulted, but just ignore it. I mean, you can ignore it definitely, but, like, the thing is, you can clearly I think a lot of people don't realize like how easily you can turn that around on a person who's being obnoxious, right? If you can say like, oh, we'll just ignore it, then you can just say, well, just don't say it. So it's just the just don't argument is like just kind of dumb, because either way it makes sense. Blocking works fine. Yeah, exactly. Once we call it as trash, or constantly trash on their own. No, they're not. Like, there's plenty of people who call other people trash because they're really good at the game, and it's like the one thing that they have, and so they have like their ego attached to it. I think that's what's like most common, rather than people that are just bad. Like, yeah, I mean, sometimes you have that, but like it's not really as common as I would say. Which axe is that on my back? It's a, I'll show you. This one right here. It's a decent item. It's not crazy, but it's decent. Where the hell did he go? Got him. It's real quality content right there, boys. Where they at? Trying to shoot down the fucking deer. I don't see him anywhere though. I'll find some more. They'll respawn. Going over the different weapons and all? No, not really. Like, I mean, this is a week-long alpha, so like, I just had time to. I maxed out my hatchet. Like, my hatchet's completely maxed. Like, that's cool. Everything else really isn't. I just use one weapon. Any ETA on New World video? Probably not for like at least a week, to be honest with you. It's quite it's quite a lot to do. I've done some PvP in the game, but not a whole lot, honestly. Have you done any duels? No, not really. You don't get banned in Final Fantasy for calling somebody trash. You get banned continuing situation instead of resolving it. Yeah, I think it's very obvious whenever you're talking about like somebody who's toxic versus somebody who's just, you know, having like a bad experience one day. Am I gonna play Lost Ark Beta? Yeah, I'm gonna play it. This is definitely a second stream game. Way too much dead time. Yeah, I can see why you say that. Give me a second. Pretty chill game. I don't think it works as well as a streaming game though. I think that like overall, so like what are the positives? Like I think the game has more positives than negatives, but as it stands right now, I don't necessarily feel like it's going to be a long-term game. I think it's going to be a game that I play a lot, and then after I finish playing the game, I'll like log on occasionally to do a victory lap, and other than that, that's about it. So like if I had to make one change, with the game, I would remove body blocking from expeditions, because I feel like it is just literal garbage. Thank you, whoever just gave me gold. It is literal garbage. Body blocking in MMO is iffy. Well, you don't really have body blocking entirely, but to an extent. Body blocking makes sense in PvP, but not in the dungeon. Yeah, I think so too. Wrong. Body blocking creates teamwork and communication, optimized positioning. Yeah, but it sucks to play, and if it sucks to play, then it shouldn't be in the game. It's just that simple. It's annoying and it creates frustrating situations frequently. It doesn't really matter, like, if you think that it's, it makes the game harder. Like, sheath your weapon, do you know the player collision? It's more bad than good. Yeah, exactly. Loading positioning helps positioning, how? Well, I think it's like one person's on the right side, one person's on the left side of the boss, like a triangle around the boss or something. You want proof body box is a terrible idea online? Just look at the launch of the Division. Yeah, I mean, I just don't think it's good. If it makes the game unfun, it shouldn't be there. Yeah, that's one thing that I think a lot of people don't really understand. Is that everything in the game and all of that is all secondary to the gameplay experience. If the gameplay experience suffers and players experience more negatives than positives with the system, then the system should not exist. It's just that simple. It doesn't matter what's realistic. It doesn't matter what causes more strategy or whatever. If the system is not fun to play, then it shouldn't exist. That's literally all there is to it. Fun replayability is everything. Yeah, that's it. It's the same thing as like the auction houses being separated in New World is something that's great for realism. And the idea is that every auction house is going to have its own different, unique type of resource in it, and it's going to be different like that. But I think that I don't think it's going to work out, right? It's like there's the idea that you come up with all your developer friends while you're sitting in a room together and you're agreeing with each other and telling each other how great your ideas are. And then there's also how players interact with that system. And that's what I think really happens. Oh, the auction house being separate? I made 30k gold on beta, which I wouldn't have made if the auction house was shared. No, you're right, and I could have done the same thing too. But just because the system is like... being able to manipulate a bad system doesn't mean it's a good system. It just means it's a bad system that you can take advantage of. Auction house being separate seems kind of pointless when you can just fast travel from town to town in an instant. Yeah. Major cities have almost nothing for sale. Yeah, I think so too. Maybe like some bartering, like, oh, you can buy this from this person. Death porting with 100% of your storage from town to town also negates it. Yeah, no doubt. Like in general, just removing friction mechanics I think is a positive. Like for example, the Azoth cost and everything like that people are able to get, like the fast travel stuff, I kind of just don't like the system in general. And I just think it's annoying. It's kind of just like this like mechanism that takes time, and that's it. Got him. No, aiming's hard, yeah. Exhaust system promotes everyone join the same faction for quality of life. I hate it. Yeah, I think so too. Whole badgering mechanic you're talking about with the big thing with old school RuneScape and Varrock Bank? Yeah, I don't know about that. I never really played RuneScape a whole lot. Was it running in a direction? It's just programmed to run around randomly. Can you trade Azoth? No, you can't. You can buy bottled Azoth, which you can redeem, but that's it. I think that the reason, like, Azoth is, in my opinion, is I think it's just a useless mechanic. It's a useless throttling mechanic that is probably going to be turned into a microtransaction and just make the game worse. That's the only thing that, like, if you took Azoth out of the game and you just made fast traveling like gold or something like that instead, I think that the game would just be better. I don't think it adds anything into the game that makes it better. You use Azoth on crafting though? Well, who cares? I think that's bad too. Actually, that's not true. I think that's completely different. Yeah. I love how 1 hour annoying side quests running back and forth gives you less experience than 2 effortless town board missions. Yeah. The questing in the game sucks. It's literal garbage. And they fix the town boards? No, I actually don't think so. Here's what I think. I would rather the game release with town boards the way they are now, rather than release without them. Because if I had to level without the town board, I would hate my life. It would take forever. It would be extremely boring. You'd run out of quests, and it would suck. They need to increase the quest experience by like 5 times. Alright, something gives you 1,000, it should give you 5,000. Oh, so many quests without the board? No, there's not. Not to get you 60. Dungeons are in this game are actually decent.